Thank you. I'm still thinking about 2 grains of sand, though. I feel like I've been framed. It's been a lot. I've been thinking. Yeah, well, I know I've gotten into trouble doing that before, but I think we're going to be okay. Fred said he's going to watch out and let me know if things start looking bad and give me a signal. I've been thinking about grains of sand and the sands of time and all the generations of humanity that have been on this planet. And the fact that I've been here long enough to see 5 of those generations. I've got 2 generations of ancestors that I've known. Anybody here have ancestors? Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about. And I've got 2 generations of descendants also, now that I've got twin granddaughters in Omaha. And I've been thinking about what gets passed down from one generation to the other to keep that continuity going. And I've been thinking about what my dad passed down to me, and one thing he passed to me was music. He was not a musician, but he grew up on a farm in Texas, and he sang me all those old cowboy songs. And he grew up listening to the radio, and he played for me all those old country songs by people like Johnny Cash and Hank Williams, and it seems like a lot of guys named Merle. And some of those songs I still have in my repertoire. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. My dad also taught me my very first song that I ever learned at his knee, literally on his knee. It's called Old Dan Tucker. Anybody know that song? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you, for those of you that don't, I'll show you what it sounds like. Old Dan Tucker went to town, riding the billy goat, leading a hound. Hound gave a yelp and the goat gave a jump, and he pitched Dan Tucker, straddle of stone. And every kid that I've ever known likes that song, including those 2 granddaughters out in Omaha. They sang it to me on the phone yesterday. They call it Old Man Tucker, and my daughter has invented a new music genre to hold that. It's called granddad music. And I will tell you how to execute that. You heard what it sounds like. Well, to execute it, you get a small human being, about that size range. You don't need a guitar. You sit down, you put the small being on your knee, and you start tapping your foot and singing that song, and you get louder and faster until you get the part about the goat giving a jump, and you pitch the kid up in the air, and if you don't have a stump to land them on, you've got to catch them. That's important. And bring them back down, and it's just fun for everybody. My dad also gave me what has become our family motto, and that is, now listen close, you can take notes if you want. It'll never be noticed on a galloping hoss, and that's the only kind I ride. And you can imagine it comes in useful in a lot of cases. My wife likes to use it when she's made a mistake on one of her sewing projects that nobody can see but her. I can use it in the context of my music. If I was supposed to play a D7 chord and I actually played a D chord, I figure as long as I was playing it with enough enthusiasm, that's probably not what you're going to remember when you leave the room. My dad also gave me advice, and I will share a little bit of that with you. He taught me, never cut toward yourself. And I followed that advice, and to this day, I have all my fingers. He also gave me advice of never trust a dead branch. And that was, he taught that to me on the day that I fell out of the sycamore tree and landed with my head on the rusty bucket that I had used to boost myself up into that tree to begin with. Now, you may say he was a little tardy with that advice, but it was good advice, and I followed it, and I've not fallen out of any trees since that day. And my head healed, too. Now, my dad gave me lots more good advice, but I have to admit, I was not a good listener. And I have retained very little of that advice if I hadn't ever listened to it at all. But I've tried to make up for that by writing myself some good advice. I've written down a lot of good advice for myself, and And I plan to go back and give that to me at the times of my life when I could have used it the most. Now, I recognize we don't have time machines yet, but Elon Musk, I've heard, has said he's going to give us a time, well, maybe not give us one, but in case a time machine ever becomes available to me, I'm going to be prepared with some good advice to give to myself, and I'm going to share it with you right now in the form of this song. And if there's any advice in there that you think might be useful to you or someone you know, you're welcome to use it because it is free advice. If I had a time machine, I would set the dial so I could have a chat with me when I was a child. I'd say, hey there, little fellow, how'd you like some free advice? Bugs are awesome, poison ivy's bad. Don't bite your classmates when they make you mad. Usually if you make mistakes, you get to try again. TV is stupid and milk is not your friend. Then I would set the dial on my time machine so I could have a chat with me when I was in my teens. I'd say, hey there, young dude, how would you like some free advice? Despite all the evidence, your parents are not fools. Don't bite bottle caps off, trying to be cool. Usually you can get by fine if you just pretend. Drunk drivers are killers, and condoms are your friend. Then I'd get in my machine and go back one more time so I could have a chat with me when I was in my prime. I'd say, hey there, young man, how would you like some free advice? Learn surfing and Spanish, find a job you like to do. Don't bite your time waiting for your dreams to come true. But take care of that woman, she's gonna love you to the end. TV is still stupid, and tequila is not your friend. Girls, sing out with everything you're worth. Take care of friends and family, and take care of yourself, and treasure every day you get on earth. Now you might have thought I was going to stand up here and walk you through every decade of my life, but they tell me I have a time limit, so we're just going to skip ahead here. Now if my machine could jump ahead in time, I'd go and have a chat with me when I'm in decline. I'd say, hey there, old man. I'd say, hey there, old man. How would you like some free advice? Your children want the best for you, so listen what they say. Don't bite the nurses or they'll take your teeth away. Whatever morning brings you, try and meet it with a smile. And in the end, if you can, go out in style. Down the cost. Oh, appreciate the world, appreciate the girls. Sing out with everything you're worth. Take care of friends and family, and take care of yourself, and treasure every day you get on earth.